I asked Megan Danny to join. She just joined because she's a close friend. So,
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning.
all right. My senior sim talk is on learning to code. What is code? According to Stephen Hawking, coding is an essential skill to learn to pursue a career in the 21st century. Code is the language that we use to communicate with computers. With code, we can give computers instructions to communicate and complete an endless variety of tasks. There are many misconceptions with coding. First of all, is that there's multiple languages of coding. Coding isn't just flashing green letters from the matrix. There's multiple different languages, and they're all unique in their own different way. There's Java, there's C++, there's Python, which I learned for my senior project. There's Ruby and JavaScript. Java developed to communicate messages between computers. C++ is commonly used to develop games, and it was also used to develop Google Chrome and Firefox. Python is designed for entry-level programmers such as myself. Ruby is like Python in that aspect, but has more uses with data. JavaScript is commonly used to create browser extensions. Another common misconception with coding is that coding is just a nerd thing. It's for the big eggheads and nerds, really smart kids. Really, with coding, anyone can learn it. It requires no prior knowledge. So you just have the confidence to jump in there and learn. And it's commonly seen with the job market because coding is one of the most demanding skills in the job market today. With these 4 careers listed, each of them has a higher growth than that of the national average of 3.7%. Web developers having 13%, database admins have 9%, network admins have 5%, and software developers have 21%. To further reinforce how desirable coding is today, allow me to share a quote from Bow High School's IT director when I interviewed him. Pretty much every business is using data, and if you're working with data, you really need to have some sort of programming skills. He then went on to talk about his daughter, how she went to Fitchburg University. They had an info panel there when they brought in some of the Fitchburg graduates. They discussed what they wished they learned at school when they were attending. Nearly all of them said coding. The second aspect of coding I will be sharing are the cognitive benefits of coding. Studies show that coding promotes brain growth in 3 areas: the middle frontal gyrus, middle temporal gyrus, and the inferior parietal lobe. These parts of the brain help grow and develop the essential skills of attention, memory, and problem solving. With all these benefits and importance of coding in the world today, one would think that there would be more emphasis on teaching code in schools, right? Mitchell Resnick, professor of learning research at MIT, is campaigning on it being taught with the same importance of writing in schools. He developed a famous Scratch program, which is displayed above me, which uses building block structure to help bring kids see coding in a new light as it just snaps everything together. As he said in his quote right here, Mitchell Resnick, "I see much deeper and broader reasons for learning to code. The process of learning to code, people learn many other things. They're not just learning to code, they're coding to learn. In addition to learning mathematical and computational ideas, they're also learning strategies for solving problems, designing projects, and communicating ideas. These skills useful not just for computer scientists, but for everyone, regardless of age, interest, and occupation." Now I'll talk about my experience of learning to code, getting down to brass tacks here. There's 730 free coding courses today as of December 28th, 2020. Some examples are Khan Academy, Udemy, Code Academy, Coursera, and edX. All these they offer is basic language fluency with coding for free. Everything's at our fingertips, but there's still that stigma of getting into learning coding. For my project, I used Code Academy. It offers many different languages offered for free, such as HTML, which is used to build websites, Python, JavaScript, Java, and all the other stuff I had mentioned before with some new ones. It lays everything out in a simple way, all free to use. I stress this again, just extremely user-friendly, walks you through the entire thing. It was very, very helpful with my time there. One of the examples of a project I had made, a program I had made, was making a chatbot. Here above me is the code I had entered. Through the lessons, I learned what each and everything meant there. An end result, I had made a chatbot that repeated everything you'd enter into it. You would type one thing out, it would print the exact same thing. So you can see here, I typed in, "Hi, my name is Finn, welcome to my first chatbot." It was saying it will repeat everything you input. I said, "Hi, I'm learning Python coding for my Bow High School senior project." We reciprocated it. Just skipped it in there. I don't know why that happened. Next project from these lines of text. Again, Code Academy brought me through every single thing. It taught me how to make an interactive receipt printer. You would enter in items purchased, it would do all the calculations, give a description of each thing, and print out the receipt, the end total. I made an interactive gradebook, as you see with the input, and it would give the output of all the classes and grades. And this mess of codes and equations also produce a physics problem calculator. I'd use my inspiration of taking AP Physics right now and building code to combine the two. For my community connection, I had taught my friend Anthony Constant to code. He was unable to, he did not have period 3 free today, so he was unable to join. But I used that to teach him, and he had made a basic chatbot himself. To wrap up in these final moments right here, I just like to stress enough that there's so many opportunities right at our fingertips, and if you have the opportunity to in free time, learn code, make a difference, go thank yourself in the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Finn about his project this morning?
How did you get the picture-in-picture for the, like, your slideshow and at the same time?
I just used this free Windows program called OBS, Darby. You just download it and connect you. I'm using a Xbox Connect right now as my webcam. I plugged that into my laptop. Just put my video capture and everything, and just did a Windows capture. And so it just puts that right in the corner. It's very simple.
Okay.
I actually have a question too.
Yep.
So when you're typing code, is it letters and numbers, or like what's the language that you type with?
All right. So with Python, if I can just go back to this, I'll show. Here's a good example. So this right here, I can just scroll in. Oh, jeez. Well, that's doing its own thing right now. So there's multiple different things with Python, which I learned. So there's numbers, which is calculated as its own variable, and then anything text, you need to put quotes around, which is called a string. So each thing works in its own way with syntax. So you'd print out a string. If you want to print out a number, you would have to type in a str, the parentheses, put the number in it. Now convert that to a string so you can print that out as well. There's like a lot of ins and outs with the syntax that goes along with it. And then Code Academy made that really simple and just easily laid out.
Huh. That's really cool. Thanks, Finn.
Anything else? Anyone?
Nice job, Finn. Thank you very much. Great. If you guys don't have any further questions, we have Jackson slated to present